is there a place for free will if we agree that God is omniscient? I mean, if God already knows everything that is going to happen, does this eliminate our free will automatically, since God's knowledge is immutable? Well, it's a tricky question. So let's explore the answer together. Good day, everyone. Some would argue like this. Number one, do you agree that God has a plan? Well, the answer is yes. Number two, do you agree that if God has a plan, then nobody can change his plan? Well, the answer is yes. And then number three, do you agree that since you cannot change God's plan, then there is no free will? Well, the answer is no. But why? Well, simply because the existence of free will is already part of God's plan. So, if we agree that God has a plan, and what he has ordained as a plan is immutable, then we have to agree that with an omnipotent God, meaning a God who can do anything that he wants to do, then if he ordains that there is free will, then there will be free will. But then some would go like this. Since God already is also omniscient, not only omnipotent, and he already knows everything that is going to happen, then since he already knows what we are going to do, and once he knows it, we cannot change it, then there is essentially no free will in the presence of omniscience. But is this a fair argument? Well, let's do this thought experiment together. Let's assume that there is this person A. Let's say that he is Joseph. And Joseph is at time T note. Let's say that he is at 10 o'clock in the morning. There is also person B. And let's say that person B is John. And John has a mirror. And John's mirror can be set to look 1 hour ahead. So he can see what is happening at 11 o'clock. Let's now say that Joseph wants to go to a specific place, X, at 11 o'clock. And scenario 1, he just goes there according to his preset will. Now, scenario 2, that John looks in the mirror at 11 o'clock, looks at place X, and sees that Joseph has gone to place X. Now, we ask this question. The fact that John has looked into the future-looking mirror and has seen that Joseph has gone to place X at 11 o'clock, did this actually affect Joseph's free will or actions by any means? And the answer is essentially no. Because Joseph has gone to place X at 11 o'clock in the first scenario where John has not looked into the mirror. And when John looked into the mirror, he still went to place X at 11 o'clock. So essentially, let's say it like this. When you stand in front of the mirror and you see that you are good looking, it is not the mirror that's making you good looking. It is just reflecting the fact that you are good looking. When John looks at that specific kind of mirror that does not reflect the present, but it reflects the future, and he sees that Joseph will be at place X at 11 o'clock, he is not forcing Joseph to be at place X at 11 o'clock. He is essentially reflecting the free will of Joseph that will take him to place X at 11 o'clock. Now, let's assume that there are 7 billion persons on the planet, Joseph 1 until Joseph 7 billion, and there are other 7 billion Johns, each of them with a mirror who is looking to the future actions of each and every single person on this planet. Now, let's replace all the Johns by one mirror that is looking at the future actions of each and every single person on the planet. And now, let's remove the metaphor of the future-looking mirror and replace it with God's omniscience. God's knowledge that not only sees the present, but has also seen the past and is also seeing the future, combined with God's omnipotence that has ordained that humans have souls that are uncausal and are supernatural and outside the determinism of this world, and is giving them the opportunity to take decisions according to their free will. Now, is the existence of God and His omniscience forcing people to take those actions just because God knows? Well, according to our thought experiment, it is irrelevant to the actions that those people are taking at any future instant, whether God sees them or not. Because essentially, they are taking those actions according to God's initial ordinance of their free will. So, if you believe in God, and you believe that He is both omnipotent and omniscient, this should not contradict in your mind with your free will, because your free will is a product of His creation and His omnipotence, and destiny is a product of His omniscience. But you are accountable for what you thought and what you did and what you will do. I leave you with the thought until we meet again.